I know a lot of people hold Stereotype by STAYC in pretty high regards, but I also don't think we talk enough about how impactful it was in K-pop. Stereotype by STAYC came towards the end of 2021, but it certainly made a lasting impact all throughout the year. I would say it is one of the, if not the song people think about when looking back at K-pop releases from this year. It is so characteristic of what K-pop is for a lot of people, but at the same time, very unique. I want to use this video to try and develop an understanding of what makes it so impactful to me, as well as just appreciate the song more for what it is. Stereotype is one of my favorite K-pop songs of all time, and I want to tell you why I think so. Generally speaking, the most impactful K-pop songs in my opinion are the ones that don't require the listener to overthink things, but give you the option to overthink if you want to. Stereotype is pretty easy to listen to. The leading message in the chorus is, "Don't look at me with tinted glasses." This is a phrase that asks the listener of the story to not judge the narrator with any kind of pretense. That's what Stereotype is about. It's generally a message about wanting to be understood by the people you care about. If we look a bit deeper into the lyrics, STAYC explores this idea in quite a profound way. The narrator sings about how her outward appearance tends to disfigure who she really is to most people. Lyrics such as, "I like to be bold-fashioned, I like to stand out, I know what I look like, maybe I look pretty, maybe I'm daring, it may feel like I'm seducing you, if so, I'm sorry." That seems to be the primary message that is expressed here. It's the frustration that the narrator wants to convey to the subject of the story in conversation. She remarks that people come to false conclusions about her all the time as a person because of the hobbies she has, the clothes she wears, or even the way that she speaks her mind, and Stereotype sees her asking the subject of the story to not do the same, to not come to the same conclusions about her as a person, right? The things the narrator enjoys doing or wearing are a result of who she feels like she is on the inside. She isn't trying to stand out to capture the attention of other people, but that's the stereotype that people have placed on her. This idea of self-expression becomes a personal impasse. The narrator wants to be able to do, say, or dress however she wants, and wishes that people wouldn't judge her for those things alone, but that isn't the reality she finds herself in. I think another key to STAYC's incredible discography is that the instrumentals to their songs often act as the seventh member of the group, telling a story all on its own. The pre-chorus to Stereotype begins quite sparse, then we're faced with a sudden and speedy ramp-up in production as we're launched into a swelling chorus. There's something the subject of the story needs to know about them. The instrumental conveys this idea to me just as well as the lyrics do, inspiring a sense of importance about what's about to be said in the chorus, or even a sense of urgency. STAYC needs to get this message across, which is to not look at them with tinted glasses on, but there does seem to be a lot more to this request than just that. They're not only asking this person to not misunderstand them, STAYC kind of laments about wanting to be understood universally. By asking this person to see her for who she truly is, it also expresses that the narrator is used to being misunderstood because of her outward appearance, and the need for this conversation is caused by a fear of being stereotyped again by the people she cares about. I think a large reason why this song is as successful as it is because it has the potential to be deeply relatable, that genuine hunger to be known and recognized as what and who you feel like you are on the inside. But in a world of misunderstanding, that is easier said than done. Despite your best efforts, going out of your way to dress or present yourself in a way that shows who you truly are may sometimes do the inverse in the eyes of others. People may stereotype you anyways without a second thought about it. This isn't helped by the fact that the feeling of self-realization isn't always stable or reliable, especially when you're young, and you may find yourself losing sight of who you truly are along the way. Sheehan sings in the second verse about sometimes not feeling like she's fully confident in knowing who she is. Stereotype is presented as a conversation about wanting a love interest to know them for who they truly are, and we see the narrator quick to discourage the subject from stereotyping her, but by the end of this song, it really has the potential to be an anthem for the frustration that comes with being misunderstood universally. This, to me, is the real impact of Stereotype. As we officially entered the dawn of the fourth generation of K-pop at the end of 2021, STAYC brought with them a lot of the old conventions that made K-pop so remarkable to international audiences. Stereotype doesn't require the listener to overthink things, but there is an underlying message that is profound and relatable that more observant fans can pull from if they want to. The want to be understood is universal, especially among us K-pop fans, where we tend to be stereotyped with all of the negative aspects of the community. That's why for the longest time I had a hard time personally telling people that I listened to K-pop. Even though it was the only thing I listened to for a while, I would always tell people that, I just listen to any type of music. Stereotype is a bit of a representation for the human and K-pop fan experience, the hunger to be truly known, and this is why I believe it was both so successful and is remembered so fondly to this day. There's a real conversation to be had about how outward appearance can in a lot of ways mar the person who you are on the inside, which is a conversation that isn't always discussed in pop music. I would say pop music does see a fair share of songs about wanting to be understood or wanting to be yourself, but few go deeper to discuss what impairs our desire to be truly known as individuals. Stereotype does that, in my opinion, in a lighthearted lighthearted but equally as profound way. STAYC sings that despite how troubling it may be to embrace authenticity, the reality of being misunderstood by narrow-minded people is more ideal than trying to become something you're not. I really think Stereotype is one of K-pop's greatest offerings to the world of music. It really perfectly combines the hallmarks of this genre that people have come to love, the things that people expect and love about K-pop the most. That's what I think. Thank you for watching this. If you did, let me know what you think about Stereotype. If you have any other ideas about why it was as popular as it was, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you next time.